House Democrats keeping up momentum on day one of their now public impeachment inquiry. Just hours after 4 more White House officials ignored demands to testify, 3 House committees released transcripts of their questioning of former Ukraine Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch and former State Department advisor Michael McKinley, some 473 pages combined. The transcripts show Yovanovitch's concerns about President Trump's personal attorney Rudy Giuliani, who she alleges was running a shadow operation to undermine her and the official U.S. policy she was conducting, instead seeking to benefit the president. She recalls her confusion and concern about being removed from her post by Deputy Secretary of State John Sullivan. She told investigators, Sullivan, "I thought this was a dangerous precedent, that as far as I could tell, since I didn't have any other explanation, that private interests and people who didn't like a particular American ambassador could combine to, find somebody who was more suitable for their interests." Yovanovitch says she asked U.S. Ambassador to the European Union Gordon Sondland for advice in handling attacks from the president and Fox News host Sean Hannity. She says Sondland told her to praise President Trump on Twitter. The former ambassador said she also felt shocked and threatened by the president's tweets about her. McKinley, a career Foreign Service employee who most recently was Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's senior advisor, says he raised concerns about the public treatment of Ambassador Yovanovitch directly to Pompeo, even asking to put out a statement of support. He said he did not get the sense the department was supportive, in part because President Trump might undermine the statement. McKinley said the timing of my resignation was a result of 2 overriding concerns: the failure of the State Department to offer support to Foreign Service employees, and by what appears to be the utilization of our ambassadors overseas to advance domestic political objectives. House Intel Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, who per the House-passed resolution is now officially leading this inquiry, says the transcripts show a coordinated effort to benefit the president's political career over the country's national security. He says they also debunked the idea that the Republicans were shut out.
Contrary to the claims of the president and his acolytes on the Hill, that these have been proceedings in which the Republicans have not been able to be present or ask questions. In fact, Republicans were present for all of these depositions, and in fact, they had equal opportunity with Democrats to ask questions.
This release comes as 4 more White House officials ignored subpoenas, something Schiff says could be further evidence of obstruction of Congress. The House committees have a full schedule of witnesses for this week, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton. It's not clear if he'll show. Regardless, Republicans say these proceedings are continuing to head in the wrong direction.
I've got the transcript, which I've read. I've got media reports, which I've paid attention to. And I've got colleagues that have been sitting in the room, none of whom think this rises to the level of impeachment.
Bolton may be waiting for a judge to rule on the case of his deputy, Charles Kupperman, who asked the D.C. District Court to decide whether he should listen to a White House demand not to testify or comply with the House subpoena. White House officials are also arguing a separate case, saying former White House counsel Don McGahn and other current and former senior officials have absolute immunity from being questioned. Transcripts of the questioning of both EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland and former envoy to Ukraine Kurt Volker are expected Tuesday. Democrats say there are more coming the rest of the week. Public hearings are expected in the coming weeks as well.